Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dion's Choice, a special episode of Dion's Daily Dose where I'm going to cover who's on your ballot and where you can learn more information about them. I'm also going to give my insight, what I've been able to find about various candidates, where you can find out more information. And I have some lists that I'd like to share from local patriots who have kind of done most of the work for me. So shout out to them, and I appreciate their assistance. Dave, good to see you, man. I haven't talked to you in a while. So I'm going to start, though, by telling you about an urgent situation in Lake County. Lake County Republicans, if you live in Lake County and you've already early voted, apparently there is a crisis going on. Republican judges and clerks, according to the information that I received, are quitting. Due to a lack of leadership is the reason that I was given. I do not have any more information at this time, but if you live in Lake County and can assist with judging and clerking for the polls, please call Allison Corbin at 219-902-1562. So let's get that taken care of. That's all the information I have at this time. I saw this post right before I went live. So I do think there's something pretty crazy going on, which does not surprise me because there's crazy stuff going on everywhere, including in LaPorte County. So I'm going to give you a little information, and then when we get to this particular race, I'm going to give you a lot more information. So we have a situation here in LaPorte County where are you familiar with Reagan's 11th commandment? What it essentially states is that you don't talk bad about another Republican in the primary, right? And I firmly believe in that because it doesn't make the party stronger. We've seen many races where it's really turned into mudslinging. It's turned into this situation where a candidate doesn't share anything positive. It's all negative about their opponent. Don't vote for them because they're a slime ball. They don't say, I'm a good candidate, here's why. They just say that person doesn't deserve your vote. It's unfortunate, but it happens. We've seen it in elections all throughout time. We're seeing it now here again today. Don't worry, I'm about to get to the good stuff. I know some of you might be like, okay, tell me who you're voting for and why. Trust me, we'll get there. First, I'm going to warn you, this might be a little bit long because we have a lot of positions to cover, not because I'm going to wax poetic. There is a situation in LaPorte County, though, for a particular race where an individual received an endorsement from a pretty high-profile Republican candidate for office. They're very well known. The person who gave the endorsement, extremely well known. I'll drop names in a little bit because I think this is important. But this person was contacted by several individuals and told that if they do not make the person that they endorsed retract it or make it go away, that they were going to actively campaign against them in multiple counties to ensure that they would not get elected for an endorsement. This is disgusting behavior, and it only scratches the surface of what we're talking about when we're talking about this race. And I'll get to it in a little bit. But let's get started with the fun stuff. First of all, I'm going to cover Porter County because I want to, and because I have the information already pulled up. First of all, big shout out to Facebook, Kelly Freedom Ziggy. Let's get this on the screen here real quick. I have permission. It's from a group, and she spent a lot of time and a lot of work giving names of candidates for various races. And it's amazing. What we have here is we have someone who is taking the time out of their day to go in and tell us what they've been able to discover. There we go. Okay. Oh, we had it. There we go. Not bad. All right. Now, the way this is laid out is the green are who they have been able to discover, in their opinion, is a true patriot. And I agree with them. Now, what do we mean by a true patriot? This isn't about saluting the flag. This isn't about, yelling at people who kneel. This is about trying to protect what this country is. It's about trying to keep this country a good place for our children, a bastion of freedom where the Constitution and the Bill of Rights actually matter. So let's start up here. So for United States Senator, we only have one choice on the Republican ballot. I'm just going to say this. You don't have to select anything. You do not have to make a choice for any race. And like I tell people, if I don't know someone, if I am not familiar with them, leave it blank. I prefer to leave it to informed voters. I don't vote for anyone that I do not know the name when I go in there. I used to, when I was much younger and I would vote, I was a typical voter. I had no idea who these people were. If I saw a bunch of signs and I could remember that name, I went into the voting booth and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick them." It's not worth it. Let it go. So this is a huge race. I'm going to talk about this for a few minutes. District 1, right? So this is pretty critical for a variety of reasons. Number one, statistically speaking, that means number nerds can tell you why this happens. A sitting incumbent, the person who holds a seat, is most vulnerable during the first election after they've been elected, right? So if you're elected in 2020, 2022, the incumbent is most vulnerable. Their first election after they've been elected. This is the case for Frank Mervan. He was just elected in 2020, and he's only been there for 2 years. He is most vulnerable this year. So we have a lot of people on the ballot, just like always. I'm going to go through them. Blair Milo, former mayor of Porte. She's a veteran. Martin Lucas, he was on my show. If you want to learn more about him, go check him out. Aaron Storer, I have not had an opportunity to discover much about him. There's very little information out there. Leyva, we all know who Mark Leyva is. Look, I like Mark Leyva as a person. I think he's an okay dude. He had the best shot he ever had in 2020. The best chance he will ever have. And he didn't pull it off. We're looking at 9, I think, general elections now that he has tried and failed to unseat the Democrat. It is really time to move on. Nicholas Pappas. I have not been able to find anything about him. There's not even a picture out there that I was able to track down. Ben Ruiz. Ben seems like a nice guy. He's very pro-Trump, very MAGA. But unfortunately, I really believe, for a variety of reasons, I'm going to touch on them in just a moment, that Jennifer Ruth Green is our best bet to win this election. A lot has been made of her 2018 vote when she pulled a Democrat ticket. Listen, I know people who are extremely close to me who have voted Democrat in the past. Everyone makes mistakes. But more importantly, the reason that she says she pulled the Democrat ballot in 2018, and these are her words. I don't know what the deal is with it. This is just what I was told. She had a close friend and fellow veteran who was running for United States Congress. They were running against Pete Visclosky. They ran as a Democrat because in Lake County, you almost have to be a Democrat to win. So this person, and according to Green in 2018, there was no pro-life candidate on the Republican side. It's completely possible in the primary. I don't know. I didn't pull up 2018, but the very fact that she had a friend, fellow veteran who was running on the Democrat side is why she pulled a ballot that year. Now, there's a lot of rumors going on that she voted Democrat in the general. There is absolutely no way to verify this. Let me tell you. I had a talk with a friend of mine recently today, and we were talking about Jennifer Ruth Green and how she's able to garner so much support in a relatively short amount of time. As far as politically goes, she is a complete unknown. She's never ran for office before. This is her first time. I can relate. 2020, I shot for Congress too. How was she able to get so many funds and so many big name endorsements, right? So, let's see. Thought I saw it. There it is. Okay, so she got some really big endorsements, one of which is Mike Pompeo. Let's bring up her website real quick. There. Let's see if she's got it on there. So yeah, so she's been endorsed by Mike Pompeo, Steve Cortez, senior advisor to Trump, Tom Cotton, Todd Rokita, Jim Banks, Larry Bouchon, Ed Charbonneau, Ed Soliday, Hal Slager, Julie Althoff, Snedecor, John Cannon, Indiana Right to Life, Susan B. Anthony, Stand for Health Freedom, Michael Rich, Chief Douglas Wright, Coral Lawn, Joe Haney, Scott Evorick, Randy Niemeyer, Jack Pupolo, Laura Sauerman, Harold Republicans for Hammond, Hobart Republican Party, Lake Station Republican Party. Now, some of these people, but let's talk about why she's been so successful. We kind of went back and forth as to why and how she was able to garner support in such a relatively short amount of time. I mean, ultimately, she's a political unknown. Well, she's been doing this for over a year. She decided to go about this the opposite way of kind of how I went about it. So a year ago, longer than that even, I got a letter from an email from the Indiana Republican Party talking about this person named Jennifer Ruth Green that was running for Congress. And I kind of looked into her and checked back way back when she was already contacting the National Party. Now, the reality is if you're going to get elected to Congress, you're going to be interacting with the National Party some way, shape, or form, right? My intention was to contact them for the general. That obviously turned out to be a mistake. She got started from the top down rather than grassroots, local, going up. She had a plan. She knew what she wanted. She reached out to the National Party, got their support, went to the state party, got their support, and then went to the various parties countywide and local. She has come to multiple events, party events, the Lincoln Day dinners, the Christmas parties, all this stuff that happens kind of behind the scenes for the party to determine who they're going to back and what they're going to do. I've talked about many of these events, but it was very interesting that she decided to go this route. And ultimately, I believe it paid off for her. Now, some of the questions that I've gotten is, well, how does she know who to call? Well, bear in mind that she's actually in the military. She was part of the command structure of the military. So I cannot speak to any of the candidates. There are very few candidates that I can tell you I believe in this person, right? What I will tell you is I believe that Jennifer Ruth Green could win the general. She's got a darn good chance of winning the primary. Mark Leyva cannot. We've got to move on from Mark Leyva. Again, I think he's a decent person. I just don't think he has what it takes to be a sitting congressman in a largely Democrat district. I think Jennifer Ruth Green does. I believe that Blair Milo sank herself when she not only refused here. Let me give you some stuff here because I believe in supporting evidence. So let me show you. This is from, let's see, South Bend Tribune. There we go. Let's get this back up here. Where's it at? Gotta do better than that. There we go. LaPorte mayor skips Republican National Convention to avoid voting for Trump. I don't want your ad. Go away. So when Donald Trump was nominated as a Republican presidential candidate, came without the vote of LaPorte Mayor Blair Milo, who has dropped out as a delegate to the Republican National Convention in Cleveland to avoid supporting Trump. Why is that important? Because the delegate is not voting for who they want. They are voting for who the people want. And the people overwhelmingly chose Trump. That's just the reality of it. In 2016, her job was to vote for who she was supposed to vote for. She decided that instead of doing that, she would just quit. She also left her job as mayor to go down to Indianapolis for a position that was specifically created for her by the Holcomb administration. Speaking of the Holcomb administration, she was on a podcast where they asked her, do you support transitioning transgenders in women's sports, right? Male to female, do you support them competing in women's sports? And she said, I believe in a level playing field, so no. At that point, they said, hey, what do you think about Holcomb's veto? Like, do you support his veto? And she walked a very, very careful line when she said, I believe in a level playing field for all genders. I don't believe that she has the support that's needed to win the primary. Moving on, because I think we kind of got all of that done. The only person, well, let's get this back up here for you. Whoop. The only option you have for State Senator District 1 is Dan Durnell. District 6, Rick Niemeyer. Now, Rick Niemeyer, we looked up his record a little bit. Mary, hi. Okay, so Paul, let's talk. You know what I want to talk about? He says, I like Martin Lucas. So let's talk about Martin Lucas. There are a couple of things. I don't dislike Martin Lucas, right? But there are a couple of things that I do think should be kind of talked. I had him on my show. You guys are more than welcome to go and watch my interview of him. He's for term limits, which I'm for term limits. He's for, a balanced budget. I'm for that. He's kind of, the right way as far as a lot of the issues go. But one of the things that he said is he doesn't want money in politics, right? Politicians should fund their own campaigns. Well, the problem with that is, of course, that if politicians fund their own campaigns, then only the rich will be in charge. Regular candidates like myself and my wife, Liz, here she is, would not be able to run for office. There's no way that I myself could afford, especially for larger offices, Congress, senator, president, would never happen. He doesn't believe in political donations whatsoever. Fine. I get it. But again, what's that going to reflect in his voting, right? Are we going to see something like a destruction of Citizens United? Are we going to see some other types of voting that I disagree with? The other issue that I really had was there were a few questions that I had asked him, and he just didn't know. He just didn't know. Not just the answer. He didn't say, I don't know what that is. He kind of mumbled his way through, and that bothers me. I have no problem with a candidate that says, I don't know. Let me, can you give me some more information? Let me look that up for a moment, make sure I'm on the right page. No, it was mumble. I kind of think that, yeah. No. I was not. No. But again, I urge everyone, this is just my thoughts and just why I get there. By all means, do your own research. Look these people up. You can learn more about these people. I'm gonna give you the links so that you can find it. Let's see here. Let's start with whoops. Let's start with Blair, so you can find. By all means, please, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, do your own research. Do your own research. Look into these people. So BlairForIndiana.com is how you find out for Blair. Excuse me, how you find more information about Blair Milo. Let's see, Ben Ruiz. He actually has a few. He's got a few. He's got Ruiz, the number 4congress.org here. He's on Ballotpedia, is under David Ruiz. I'm not sure what the name difference is there. Hometown News Now, he has a feature about himself. Facebook group. Let's see here. He's on Getter. Matter of fact, he gave me a lot of his contact information. So I'm gonna. Whoops. Where am I gonna do that? Ballot Ready. There is a lot of information out there that's available for these candidates. If you want Jennifer Ruth Green, it's jennifer-ruthgreen.com. Leva, I'm pretty sure it's markleva.com. It might be. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, markleva.com. You can go read about him if you want. He's on Ballotpedia, whatever. Nicholas Pappas, I was unable to find anything about this guy. Ballotpedia, he didn't send anything in. There's a couple of articles, but there's nothing about him. I can't find anything about him. So apologies there. And then there's one more guy, Aaron Storer. So let's look him up. I have more information about other things. So Ballotpedia, Aaron Storer for Congress. Here's his webpage. Let me show you guys this real quick. Restore Sanity. He says some good stuff, but 5 bills in 5 days. So there's something that I think, and he says good stuff, but let me clarify something. My personal opinion. Cranking out laws is not. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Liz reminded me that Aaron Storer dropped out of the race, so ignore that. Okay. So let's move on here. So for state rep for District 11, your choices are Michael Aylesworth, he's the incumbent, Andrew Boersma, and Pierce Fisher. I looked at Pierce Fisher. We looked him up. Let me give you his information so that you can find it. Let's see here. Fisher, Indiana. I was able to find him on Facebook. Here it is. Believe so. I think this is the guy. Let's double check if it'll load. If it will load. No, that's not the right guy. Okay, we can go to here. I found him on Ballotpedia. Here it is. This will give you, if you go to Ballotpedia, this will give you the way to find him. Campaign website, campaign Facebook, and campaign Twitter. One of the things that I would like to bring to your attention about him is if you go to, I'm pretty sure it's his Twitter. I may not be able to do this on this because my band account is still logged in on Twitter. Let's see if I can. In the meantime, his campaign Facebook tells you a lot as well. So these two will load while they're doing that. Okay, so here we go. And one thing, I get what he's saying. He says, I have fought the stigma of my age this entire campaign. I've been told I don't have the experience and I need to get older before I understand issues that affect the public. So immediately, There's one thing in particular, though. Let me find it. So here he's talking about other candidates and their income. So again, I don't see he's not doing signs. He has one of the things I'd like to point out is he has like 41 followers. Okay, so I don't believe that he has a viable campaign. Fagan wants me to get to the good stuff. Well, if you had tuned in earlier, I dropped a little bit, but yeah, let's move on. So none of these people, as you can see, are listed as patriots. I highly recommend that you do your own research. Now, for County Council Member District 4, Pete Lindemulder, Kelly Freedom has labeled him a patriot and urges you to do your own research, but that's who's getting her vote. I don't live in Porter County. I can't vote for him anyway. District 7, we've got Christian Jorgensen, who is the current incumbent. And then we've got Randy Niemeyer. Now, Randy Niemeyer, I'm pretty sure, is the son of Rick Niemeyer, who is a sitting state senator. By all means, do your own research, but they have both been selected as willing to stand for your freedoms. There's not many options there otherwise. So here are a couple other, let me see if I can get these. Okay, so we've got Porter County here. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so something that's really important to look at. Let me show you one more time. The rest of Porter County is really a toss-up. We were not able to uncover anything impressive about any of these people. The town council member for Cherville, Ward 2, Kevin Connolly, is who they support. So now I'm going to pause for a moment and I'm going to talk about LaPorte. Here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So as you know, we have a very tight, very contentious commissioner race. It wasn't meant to be this way. What it was meant to be was everybody presents their ideas. Whoever you think is the better candidate, all positive, all let's do good for our community, right? I want to give you a little background because I think it's important. In 2020, an individual who is running for county commissioner, they are a sitting politician, so I'll let you figure it out, told me I won't be running anything for anything in 2022, so I'll be able to support you financially, etc. No problem. Some interesting developments happened in the meantime. Some of these have been brought to public, some have not. It doesn't matter. The point is, all of a sudden, 2022, actually 2021 came around, and I was told, well, that's not going to happen because I changed my mind. Now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not, for one, it's not about the money. I don't care about this person's money. Good for them. They have money. It's not about that. It's about telling the public and individuals that you're going to do something and then not carrying through on that, right? We've seen it far too many times from our elected officials. We see it far too many times in our life that even that was still fine, whatever. My wife decided, you know what? Our commissioner situation is a crime. It is absolutely horrendous here in LaPorte County. We need to get some changes done. I'm running for commissioner. I backed her 100%. Of course, she's my wife. But more importantly, as I stated on my personal Facebook page, I have never seen her burn the candle at both ends, burn the midnight oil, work her ass off to get this campaign going. She has door knocked. She has written personal letters. She has sent postcards. She has called people. She has received so many inbox messages. She has been told so many things from people, and she has devoted so much time to this. Does that mean that she deserves to win? Not necessarily. But what it does mean is she's devoted. She's devoted not only to the people of this county, but she's devoted to her family because, let me tell you, full-time job, working on this campaign, she still manages to cook dinner most of the time. Although I help when I can, I am not a great cook. Like I can break out the grill and I can do some, some steaks and some burgers. Meat, I tend to do all right with. Chicken flummoxes me for some reason. Chicken, I cannot seem to cook properly. It's one of the easiest things to cook, but for some reason, me and chicken just do not get along. So here's the point, and this is kind of what all of this has been leading up to. A few days ago, my wife decided to share an endorsement that she received. This endorsement was from Diego Morales, candidate for Secretary of State. Diego's a great guy. I like Diego. I've always liked Diego. He endorsed her months ago. So Liz was very excited about this and decided to hold on to that endorsement till closer to the end of the campaign because she felt like it would make more impact and more value that way. I didn't disagree. I think that was a good choice. What was really interesting was when she decided to share this, that very night after she had put it on her Facebook page, a few hours later, her phone rings and it is Diego. Now, I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. There are people that called Diego and told him, if you do not call her and get her to take that down, we are going to actively campaign against you. We are going to ensure that you do not get selected by the delegates to become Secretary of State. Yeah. Now, on the one hand, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in Diego because, really? That was enough. Excuse me, I got my foot caught on some wires, so I'm trying to, there we go. So look, here's the thing. When you become Secretary of State, there's a lot of pressure on you. There are going to be a lot of people that are asking things. There are going to be a lot of people that are demanding you do this or do that. And this little bit was enough to cause you to call Liz and beg her to take it down. She didn't have to. Let me be very, very clear on that. The endorsement was already given. It was freely given. There was no coercion involved. It was given. She shared it. Now, I'm not going to name the names of the people that I know were involved. Okay? I'm doing that. There's a variety of reasons for that. But the short version is you ask yourself who stands to benefit and who would be afraid. And you can draw your own conclusions. I will tell you this. Diego did not specifically say, this person called me, this person called. But what he did do is Liz said, so let me guess, because we had our suspicions, was it this, and this? And he simply said, uh-huh. So, again, I'm not going to air the party's dirty laundry out there because there are people that were involved that it would hurt the party if I shared. But I'm going to tell you this. I am tired of playing these bullshit games with these people who think they're smarter, who think they're better, who think that they are above the population. They're not. You are one of us, just like I am, just like you are. You're no different. You're no better. The real question you have to ask yourself is this the kind of person, someone that would make that happen, that you want in charge of LaPorte County? It's not. It's really not. And you know what, Mary? You're absolutely right. Mary says there's all kinds of crap going on within our own party. There really is. There really is. And I'm going to tell you, I have a friend of mine who was absolutely against me doing this video at all. was okay with the voting and why I'm voting for various candidates, but was blatantly, vocally against me even telling you what happened. And this is what I told him. I said, the reason these people are able to continue to do this and the reason that they felt emboldened enough to do it in the first place is because nobody says anything. People just go, oh man, that's party politics. I'm not going to put that out there. Bullshit. Enough of that. I am as transparent as I can possibly be without giving you guys a guided tour of my home. you know, and I'm not. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens because I've actually talked about. I've talked to my wife about doing that. I'd like to give you guys a kind of a snapshot into our campaigns as we go about our lives, and you can kind of see what we do on a daily basis. But more on that later. What I will tell you, though, is that these people have gotten away with this crap because nobody wants it out there. The party doesn't want it out there. A lot of people would rather bury their heads in the sand than to admit that we have problems in the party. They would prefer to say, oh, it only happens once in a great while. It's this one bad apple. No, it's widespread. There is no shortage of people that think that the rules don't apply to them, right? It's so disgusting, this kind of behavior. And I have watched this person, I'm just going to tell you, I've watched this person when my wife and I go to various events, pancake breakfast, stuff like that. She'll go up and she'll have a good conversation with people. First of all, Liz campaigns it's a little unorthodox compared to your traditional campaigns, right? She will go and she will sit down and with permission, of course, sit down and have a conversation with people rather than just walk up, drop her card on the table and say, I'm running for this and I'm running for this. I'm running for this, jamming, campaign material into their hands. She tries to connect with the people. She tries to understand what their biggest issue is. And she's, I'm unique. What can I say? She really is. I said this in a post, but I'm going to say it again. I'm so incredibly proud of her. And it really, she came to me and she's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And even initially, I'm like, are you sure? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of that. And the way that she's been able to juggle multiple things, family, obligations, work, cooking, I mean, just all of it. She's a superwoman. She really legitimately is. So she goes to these various functions and she sits down and she has a conversation with people. And this person is right behind her every time, every single time. And I get it. Votes, right? I am perfectly okay with a candidate attacking me. That's politics. I am perfectly okay with a candidate attacking Liz. That she's now a public figure. She's a politician, But that's the thing. We are not politicians. We are people running for office because we truly believe that with the right people in office, one person's not going to be enough. But if we get patriots elected up and down the ballot, we can fundamentally fix this country. I'm okay with them doing the standard attacks, with them saying the normal stuff that comes with politics. This person's of this person's of that. But to pull an end around in the party and go after a person who has busted their ass on their campaign, both of them actually, and threaten this person with derailing their campaign, actively campaigning against them, if they won't retract an endorsement or at least get it hidden, what kind of sick, pathetic individual thinks this is okay? And the best part about these people is they will look you in the eye and smirk, because that's exactly what they did. At the following day's pancake breakfast, this candidate looked at my wife in the eyes and smirked. What I can tell you is it's very, very good that that we're running for office, and this isn't just like a free-for-all situation. The same person would not, if the defund the movement police, or excuse me, defund the police movement gains major traction, and suddenly there are no police around here, it would have been a very different outcome. But look, I'm not on here to wax poetic about the wrongs that we've suffered. Overall, 99% of this campaign has been nothing but positive, and I mean positive from the public. I mean people pouring their hearts out, talking about the issues that they've had. I'm talking about my wife's campaign. I'm unopposed in the primary. I stepped back and I focused what energy I could to helping her with her campaign, and it's been very positive. It's been extremely positive. But what it goes to show is the people like this, the people that pull this kind of crap, they believe they're superior to you. They believe they're superior to me. And these are the kind of people that are in our government right now. And like Liz says, and she's absolutely right, she was the Easter Bunny. How can you not love the Easter Bunny? There is some disgusting, absolutely ridiculous shenanigans going on with this party. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm only telling you about half of the story right now because I think that's all that matters at this point. What I will tell you unequivocally is I am the most transparent person running for office that I've ever seen. If I believe there's something that you need to know, I'm going to tell you. I don't care what these people think. I don't care what they're about. What I will tell you is that I have had enough of all of this. I've had enough of these people looking at us and pretending that this is all okay. I'm sorry. Lake County was what I started with. Porter County is coming up in just a moment. And then we'll finish with LaPorte County. Okay, so let's get a quick list. So there's a really easy list here, and I'm going to tell you what I do and don't agree with, if any. Again, Kelly, Freedom, Ziggy. I think it's really important for you to understand how hard she has worked, because I like me, I love giving shout outs. I like to appreciate the people who do the work. Right? It's easy for me to sit here and do a video and tell you about all this cool stuff and all the information. I didn't do this. This wasn't me. This was Kelly. So look here. We've gone through first district. You know kind of what's at stake there. State Senate District 4. All right. So let me tell you, I actually know Johannes. I don't know if we're friends. We're acquaintances. We know. I know him. I've been to one of his events. He's been to a couple of mine. He is, I believe, a true patriot. His heart is in the right place. He is wholeheartedly against the government telling you what you can and cannot do. As I've shared before, I think you should, if you have further questions, look them up. Let's get you some information for that. But I witnessed Jeff Larson, who is the other person on the ballot. I witnessed him telling people that he was against constitutional carry and he was against school vouchers. So take that for what it is. If those don't matter to you, if other issues are more important to you, then by all means, look this up. Let's see here. Let's get okay, I think it's 2 L's. All right, so Johannes Pollard is on Ballotpedia. It looks like I was looking for his website. He actually does have a website. Hopefully it's on here. Let's check. I'm pretty sure it's Johannes Pollard for State Senate. His website's not listed. Oh, come on, Johannes. He didn't even send a picture to Ballotpedia, but neither did Larson. So he didn't fill out this. So darn it, man. Come on, dude. You can do better than that. Let's try. I had his website. Now, I will tell you, let's see if this is it. So I tried to look up some information. No, that one's not it. No, I'm not able to find it. It's all right. I have it somewhere, but that's okay. I will tell you that you can find it if you look. If you want his website, reach out to me. I have it in my messages that I can share it to you. I just can't find it right now. I tried to find some information about Larson. He does not have a website as far as I can tell. He doesn't have a campaign Facebook. He doesn't have any of that stuff. And all his stuff's on private. I'm going to tell you this. This is just me personally. If I can't find out what a candidate's about, if all I can find is a little blurb that they gave to the paper or a something that they sent in to, like, for example, Porter County Republicans has a little deal that they do that they list who's running, right? They don't have half the people that are actually running on there. But if that's all I can find about you and I can't find anything else, I'm not voting for you. And once again, it's really important. If you don't know whether or not to vote for somebody, I leave it blank. I'd rather leave it blank. So I leave other information, but in the meantime, so County Council for Porter County, Barb Regnitz. But I'm going to tell you, both of these people. Mike Brickner is extremely well known in Porter County. He was, I believe, the Valparaiso chief of police for years and years. Barb Regnitz worked very, very hard, has a lot of financial experience, IT experience. Look them both up. I'm going to tell you that there are some very disturbing allegations out there about Brickner's team. The Democrats released a press release, and it is what it is. So District 1, so Antonio Gutierrez and Red Stone, Patriot Group says Antonio. District 3, Holly Howe. District 4, County Assessor. So apparently the Patriots gave Harper the nod. I have not met Harper. I did meet Sue Neff at the Christmas party. I like Sue. I think she's sweet. I don't know much about either of them, but that's who's on the ballot. If you're in Porter County, look them up. Jeff Ballin is unopposed in his primary. County Coroner, Cindy Dykes. So for District 4, Soliday, they're not a fan, but there's no Republican running against him. District 9 is this kind of goofy guy named Dion Bergeron. He's also unopposed. Kind of an odd duck, but seems to be a good dude. In District 10 is Maldonado. And his wife is actually running for something as well. Do you remember what it is, Liz? I forgot what the actual position she's running for is. I believe it's on the township board. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot. Let me show you this real quick. There it is. So again, quick summary: Jennifer Ruth Green, Johannes Pollard, Barb Regnitz, Antonio Gutierrez, Holly Howe, Becky Guess Harper, Jeff Balin, this weird dude named Dion, and Manuel Maldonado. And I agree. Oh, see, here it is. She's running for Portage Township Board. And Paul says, yes, please review your ballot before pushing that big red button. And as always, if you are unsure what a position does, right? If you're not sure what a county commissioner does, I made a video, right? I made a video about that. Liz and I both actually gave quite a bit of input. Let's see if their review of Porter County is up yet, or excuse me, LaPorte County. It doesn't. I see Lake County and Porter County. Okay. I do not see. Let me reload just in case. But I have a list here. My wife, once again, like always, is hard at work for you and for me. She helps me out so much. I cannot thank her enough. I try to be a good husband, but she outdoes me every time because she is an exceptional wife. So let's see here. All right. So as always, let's see. Okay. So your options for District 2 are Jackie Walorski. Standwithjackie.com is her website. She did much better work than me and has how you can find. Okay, so here we go. All right, we found some stuff. So for Johannes Pollard, go to panoramanow.com /Johannes Pollard. And there's one L in Pollard. That's my mistake. So Johannes, Poulard. Johannes is JOHANNES. So panoramanow.com /Johannes Pollard. If you go to PorterCountyRepublicans.com and you click in the top left, let me get this up. So, because this is how we vote for these guys too. PorterCountyRepublicans.com. See if I can get it to work. We'll come back to that. Now, there is a very, very, here it is. Okay, there's a very contentious race. That is District 20. It is Heather Oak versus Jim Pressel. Now, I guess I could say I know both of them. I'm not friends with either of them. I know both of them. I don't know what more I can say about this race because Jim Pressel has a voting history. I will say that there are some very interesting rumors being spread that Pressel is against constitutional carry. That's very easily disproven. He voted for he was a co-author, a sponsor of that legislation. So be careful what you read online. Abraham Lincoln will tell you that. Not everything you read on the internet is true. But let's go to Indiana House. What is it? Repub.com. Let's see if this works. In the meantime, let's go back to Porter County. Let me show you what we're looking at here. So if you go to PorterCountyRepublicans.com and you go up to the top and you click GOP resources up here and you go down to 2022 elections, primary candidates, there's several people on here. If you click on Jeff Larson, this will tell you about him. This is all I was able to find. This and let's see here. This and what was the the forum that we had in Michigan City. That's where I heard this. You can easily find this. It is the Vote 411 forum. And if you look it up on YouTube, League of Women Voters, that's what it is. League of Women Voters. Let's see if I can find it. If we put in LWV MC Forum. I don't know if this is going to be enough or if I'll need to spell it out. Yeah, it looks like I'll need to spell it out. So let's do. And that's still not telling me. I shared it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're getting, let's see. Let's put in Janesville. Oh, wait a minute. No. That's not, I don't know. I can't find it. But the other thing that I wanted to show you is you can go to, I might need to spell the whole thing, which I'm not opposed to. But if you look up, you can easily find Pressel's voting record. Look at what he voted for. Look at what he sponsored. If you support that, if that's where your values lie, then vote for him. If you don't, if you believe that Heather Oak represents your values, vote for her. Like always, that's what I tell people. So we have a new person. So we are able to vote for the prosecuting attorney for LaPorte County. Now, as you remember, I had Sean on the show, and he is, in my opinion, the only option we have to get real change going on in this county as far as prosecutor goes. There are a couple of cases that have not been prosecuted that are just kind of languishing. We need this guy. We need this guy. Again, his name is Sean Fagan. He has a Facebook page, Fagan for Prosecutor. As a matter of fact, there he is. There's his Facebook page. That's what his little icon looks like. Go follow him. Look him up. Fagan would like you to know that he likes Pressel. That's fine. I like Jim. I'm going to tell you this. So when I ran in 2020, Pressel was one of the very few people in the party that actually said, hey, here's some tips, right? When I ran in 2022, this time, he actually took me down to the courthouse, the state house. He saw me when I went down to file my paperwork, right? And he saw me. He's like, hey. I'm like, hey. Now, remember, this guy had no idea I was coming down there. He actually took the time. My son Donovan was with me. He took the time to show me around. Now, there were certain places that we couldn't get into because they were locked off because that was the night of the governor's State of the Union. State of the State, sorry. And he showed me around to everywhere that he could. He showed me the offices. He showed me where I'd be working when I went. Awesome, right? And I will tell you, Jim and I do not agree on everything. There are some things that he's voted for that I think that I would have voted no on, put it that way. Or he's voted no when I would have voted yes. But he is well known. He is easily reachable as far as I can tell. Do your thing. Look these people up. Let me get you, because I do think here it is. This is important. I do believe, let's see here. I do believe it's important to be able to find this stuff. Let's see. Is that? Okay, he's not listed as leadership. Here, let me show you what I'm doing here. I was able to find, here we go. So this is what I'm looking for. Let's see here. He's going to be down here. Too far. All right. There he is. Okay. So, excuse me. Now, if you go to IndianaHouseRepublicans.com, that'll bring up the homepage here, and then you click on the caucus, and the drop-down menu, you'll be able to pick members. Here's his biography. District 20, it lays it out for you, right? Now, this is the current District 20. It might be, yeah, it's a pretty big area. If you click here, this is the important part. If you click here, my legislation, right, you'll be able to see what he's voted on. Author or sponsor, right? The stuff that he has stood up and voted for, created, stuff like that, it's right there for you. So go through that. Look and see if you support that. Okay, so the next big thing, in my opinion, is county sheriff. So let's see here. Where are the... Okay, so hold on. If we go to Facebook, because that's probably the best place to go for these sheriff races, especially for... Oh, and you know what? This is important too, and Liz reminded me. Jim Pressel is the reason we have Judah's Law now. If you don't know what Judah's Law is, I recommend that you look it up. It is very important. It's some legislation that will protect children, and I'm all about that. If you know who Judah is, it's a heartbreaking story, and it could have been prevented. So here we go. Here's on Facebook. Andrew Morse is one of the candidates for county sheriff, and I'm trying to see, does he have an official... I think this is his kind of official Facebook, but let's just see. Andrew... Oh, here it is. Okay, so here is his public Facebook. Okay, Mary, I know this one's kind of long, but you have a good night. Talk to you later. So this is his public page, right? If you go to Andrew J. Morse for LaPorte County Sheriff, right? Now he's got over 1,000 followers. That's a lot. Scroll down here, see what he's about. I will say this. I think the very best way to see the difference between the two candidates for sheriff is to watch their videos that I did. It's a direct comparison. They were asked the same questions. And what I've been able to determine is, and this is purely my opinion, but based on my interactions with them, Ron Heeg is very buttoned down, very administrative, right? He's been second in command for most of the time that... Let's see here. Let's see if we have anything. I thought there was something. Okay, wait a minute. Does he have an official page? I don't remember. Let's see. Anyway, watch the videos. I had it, and I don't know what happened to it. See what stands out between the two. Okay, well, I don't see his... but it's easy to go. You just look at Ron Heeg. I mean, the man has almost 2,000 friends. I thought that he had a more official page, but maybe not. I mean, there's Ron. Me personally, I don't think you can go wrong no matter which way. But look at both of them, watch both videos, become informed, see what appeals to you. Ron, very much more administrative experience. Andy Moore's very passionate about canines. You can't get him talking without him bringing up canines, and that's awesome. I don't know. I still don't know that you can go wrong no matter which way you vote. I will say this: no matter what, it is critical that we keep a Republican leadership for sheriff in this county. It's going to make all the difference in the world. So let's talk. I'm gonna skip one. All right. So in order to learn more about County Council District 1, there are a couple of people, and I'm going to tell you that is the greatest race I've ever seen. District 1 County Council. It is Justin Keel and Adam Karanka. And I'm going to tell you, I love both of them. They're both great guys. They're both extremely accomplished. They're both good people. But let's get you the information for these guys. So on Facebook, it is Justin Keel for County Council. There it is. Okay, so Liz let me know that Ron doesn't have an official Facebook. You just look him up. Fagan is very much in favor of Ron. If Bobby was watching, Bobby would be just as passionate about Andy Morse. So again, I don't think you can go wrong. So here is Justin Keel. I actually really like that background in that font. Here we go. Let me show you. Again, Justin Keel for County Council. 324 followers, which is, I think, more than me. I'm a little upset, to be honest. I'm just kidding. I have like so many pages that I had to kind of start stringing together because of the shadow banning and outright banning in 2020. So he was on Sound Off. They both were. So you can hear from both candidates on Sound Off. We weren't able to get him on the show, unfortunately. But this is Justin Keel. The other one is elect look at that, Adam Karanka for LaPorte County Council. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the page. And here he is. All the information that you can want. Here is his when he was on Sound Off. I think if you just spend the time listening to each of these, you'll see the difference between the two candidates. My cat is trying to get out of the room. He always does this. I was pretty sure he was not in the room when I started, but now he is. So you'll be all right. Stop it. So Fagan says that Keel is energy personified. He really is. He's young and he's full of passion and energy. And Adam, there, thank you. Somebody let the cat out of my room. I appreciate that. Adam Karanka, on the other hand, is older, more measured, more mature. Not that Justin is immature, because he's not. He's a go-getter. He owns multiple newspapers. He's young, but full of passion and full of energy. So that would be a very, very difficult decision for me if I was voting for them. They're I'm pretty sure only like the south half of the county votes for them. Fagan said Adam is a living redwood. That might be kind of derogatory in a way, maybe. I'm not sure. So moving on. There's only one person running for District 2 County Council, and that's Aaron Kirk for the Republican ticket. So there you go. So look, County Council District 3, there is no Republican running for that seat. I understand, because the person who holds that seat is Yagelski. And Yagelski is very, very difficult to beat. He's been around for a long time. He's held this position for a long time. Not saying that someone shouldn't try, but if someone does try, you will have to work very, very hard. So we have District 4. Oh, you meant he's super tall. He's talking about Adam. I agree. He is tall. Um, so District 4, we have Mike Rosenbaum versus Ron Schaefer. Now, they're both on Facebook. So let me show you how you can learn more about them. And I think this is really important because this one is an interesting race. Uh, there it is. Look for County Councilman Mike Rosenbaum. And if you click here, there you go. These are what his signs look like. They're blue with yellow lettering. Qualified, dedicated. Uh, he is extremely involved in the community. Um, Look at that. That is awesome. He's got students who are rocking his. I love to see young people get involved in politics, by the way, and that's something that I'm going to be talking about more on another video. But look at that. Oh my goodness. And Mike Rosenbaum, he's really short, right? He's incredibly full of energy and just oh, I like Mike. I'm just gonna be straight up there. I like Mike Rosenbaum. I think that he really takes into account the feeling of the people that he represents. Um, oh no, that's a good point, Paul. Paul asked me if I went over sheriff for Lake County. I did not because I'm pretty sure there are no Republicans on the ballot. This is just the Republican ballot. I can drop the Democrat ones if you want. But I'm just covering the Republican stuff at the end if you want, Paul. Yeah, so Liz points out that Mike is a CPA. Has that financial experience, that mindset. He is also a substitute teacher. He does so much, as you can see, tons of pictures. Oh, this guy here. So um, let's see here. I forgot his number. This guy came to the Republican booth while we were at the fair, and he's in high school. He's very interested in getting involved politically, and he said, I'm trying to get involved, but there's no reach out as far as the party to the young people. Now, as we all know, Democrats have done an exceptionally good job of weaponizing the youth. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is we've had the pendulum swing, and my sons, both of the two older sons, even my youngest, has said that their friends and the people that they hang out with are, in general, far more conservative these days. That pendulum has swung back hard, and people are tired of the wokeness. They're tired of not being allowed to say what they want. But if you go through and look at Mike Rosenbaum, that's who my choice is. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why in just a moment when I cover his opponent, Ron Schaefer for. You might have it together. Report. County. Geez, this is a lot. Council district. Let's see if this brings anything up. Yep, there he is. Okay, so that's all of what you got to put in. Ron Schaefer for LaPorte County Council District 4, if you want to fight him. All right, find him, sorry. You don't want to fight him. You hurt him. His signs look like this. Now, a lot of these, but to be fair to Ron, a lot of these signs are a holdover from when he ran a while back, right? So it's something to keep in mind. So they do look a little dated. Let's be honest. But if you look, he's talking about, I don't know, something about in the Herald Argus, which I'm going to be real with you guys. That's like the paper is so underutilized in this area. They charge for you to read it online. They charge like $2 a paper. It's crazy. And I get it. The day of print, they're trying to do all they can to stay above water, but yikes. he's getting out there, he's talking, but I'm going to tell you, I like Ron. He calls himself a conservative, right? He's very well known, I guess, in the general Republican Party. But one of the things that bothered me was he got up at one of the breakfasts that we attend, where we kind of introduce the candidates and give a chance to say stuff. And he got up there and he talked. He gave his speech. It was a good speech. At the end, any questions? And I said, yes. Do you support the lit tax? Because it was just about to come up. It's something that had been talked about for quite a while. It was about to be voted on. And he emphatically said that yes, he supports the lit tax. He's all for our first responders. Da 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 da. Great. Okay, no problem. Now I know. So then he was planning on sending a mailer out. And in this mailer, he was going to come out against the lit tax. And what was stated was that he would be, basically, it was a safe position. He could come out against the lit tax because the vote would have already happened. He's not going to have to vote on it. It's very political. It's a very political statement, which, by the way, changed his entire position from what it was. That really bothered me. And it tells me the type of person that we're dealing with. I can't support that kind of mentality. I just can't. So me, myself, I'm going to be voting for Rosenbaum. Do your research. Look into these people. So let's see here. We have, again, I'd like to urge everyone, if you are a Lake County resident, to contact Allison Corbin at 219-902-1562. There's a situation on there that Republican judges and clerks at the polls are desperately needed. Allegedly, people are quitting. So if you live in Lake County, you're a Republican and you already voted, contact them so that they can get you hooked up and you can help. So moving on. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one, and I want to show you some interesting things. First of all, as you should know by now, it's a three-way Republican race for County Commissioner District 1. It's very obvious that I'm going to vote for my wife, but it's not just because she's my wife. Yeah, that's part of it. Happy wife, happy life. Although ballots are secret and she would never know. I'm just kidding. Look, obviously I'm voting for my wife because she is the only candidate at all that A, has publicly said that she would make some huge changes to the people that work for our county. It's doing it again. All right, look, ladies and gentlemen, this is an ongoing issue with her website. I don't know what's going on with these huge graphics, but let's just go to her Facebook page because it's much, much better. If you look up Liz for LaPorte County, click on her. This is her, and this is why. First of all, I don't know, at least her website works because I don't know what's going on here. And it also gives a not secure. I'll fix that later tonight. Don't worry about it. Now, another candidate is Connie Grammarosa. And if her website is conniecares.gop. This is for LaPorte County. Facebook, while her thing is loading. Here is her on Twitter. She doesn't have a whole lot of tweets. But there are some good ones there. There's her website, her basic information, and But I think the best place, honestly, to find more information about Liz is Liz for LaPorte County. Here is where she kind of lays it all on the line. She tells you about what she's doing, why she believes in what she's doing. And more importantly, she's involved in the community. Like, she was the Easter Bunny. But more important than that, even, is because she understands what it's like to be a regular person, a regular voter, a regular mom, struggling from paycheck to paycheck. Our economy is so insane right now. $9 for a watermelon, $6.50 for bologna. I never thought we have seen. I never thought we would have seen the things that we've seen in this country. There is no website at all for Nathan, but I think you should know that Connie Care's website has been like this forever. There was a countdown. You sign up for the newsletter, of which I did because I was kind of curious with another account, and I still have yet to get a newsletter. There's no website. There's no nothing. And this is also someone who is already elected to county council. You should really look at the voting record. If you're considering voting for this person, look at their voting record and look at the type of person that they are. I mean that extremely. Ask around. This is a well-known person in LaPorte County. There are countless people who can tell you about their personal interactions with this person. I will tell you this, in 2018, I think. 2018, when they lost their commissioner seat to Sheila Mateus, they had a full-on meltdown. I mean, full-on meltdown. The very fact that the party itself has not said, hey, look, we don't want you running for anything else, is really quite surprising because it was embarrassing. Luckily, I wasn't around so much then involved. So moving on. So Cass Township trustee is just one person, Darrell Lee Goose, Guse. I don't know. So this one here, Cass Township Board, there are 3 people. Rodney E. Peters, Tricia Rosenbaum, don't know if they're related. I think so. Jacqueline Treese Tharp, and Kevin Van Worden. Look those up. And my advice to anyone, if you want to learn what someone's really about, look at their personal Facebook. If it's locked down, it's kind of a. Now I will say Liz has a public political page for a reason, because in her job there are people who don't know the meaning of boundaries. So in her job, and I'm going to say this, especially when at another company that she worked for, there were people that were trying to contact her via Facebook Messenger 20 times a day, over and over and over, calling her in the middle of the night. She needs her personal Facebook to be private. But she has a public Facebook page. It's right there to check out. It's right there to learn. If they don't have anything, any way to view what they're about, that's a serious concern for me. Once again, the people that you're going to be looking up are Rodney E. Peters, Tricia Rosenbaum, Jacqueline Treese, Treece, Tharp, and Kevin Van Worden. That is for a Cass Township board member. I think you only vote for that if you're in Cass Township. So moving on, Center Township trustee, Lisa Pierzakowski. It's the only Republican option. Center Township board member, there are only 3 positions available. It's vote for 3. Now, here are your options. Amy Burris, Burris. Dakota H. Euler, Kylene R. Fuller, Dwayne Miller, and Bob Walensky. Now, let's cover a couple of people. First of all, the only people we were able to find information about on Facebook, at least, like actual information, is Dakota Euler and Kylene Fuller. Now, I'm going to bring up Kylene first because Liz especially, I like Kylene. Liz really likes Kylene. Let's see, is that it? No, that's just the fundraiser. Are you? Hold on, Kylene Fuller for center. That's the only. Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, so here it is. Kylene Fuller for Center Township Board of Advisors. So let's put this here. Okay, so Liz would like you to know that she likes Kurt for Hannah Township. We haven't gotten down there yet, but Sean would also like to point out Fuller. Let me get me on here because there we go. Okay, so look, this is her email. You can send her a message. She's got 322 followers, multiple likes. Kylene Fuller for Center Township Board of Advisors. Now, I'm going to tell you some stuff about Kylene. She started this, she started a bike shop, her and her husband, in LaPorte. She started it's like a bakery, right? Inside of, was it Melt? The little restaurant across from the courthouse that has the grilled cheese. It's baked goods, right? GOODE. And then the little tagline for it is like enter full, leave fuller, or come in full, leave fuller. It is, I love it. It's cute. The food is fantastic. Sean and Liz both say Kylene. I'm going to tell you, I really, really like Kylene. I've talked to her at length. Now, she used to be a Democrat, and she woke up. I'm going to say this. There are those that claim that they woke up and realized that the party was, moving too far. I believe Kylene truly did. She has conservative values. She was hanging on to the party of John F. Kennedy, and that party's dead. And she realizes it. She, I think, would be a great township board member. I really do. Bob Walensky, you don't really need to know much about him. He's been around for a long time. He's very well known. But if you can, let's see if we can do a quick search. I don't know if we can. Yeah, okay. So you can find his regular Facebook page. So at least there's that. And you can look up. I like Bob. I think Bob and Kylene together will be a good deal. Let's see. I don't know who Amy Burris is. Okay, this is probably her. So you can find her on Facebook. Here's the profile picture. I believe she works at New Prairie. So yeah, this is the, okay, so let me show you. All right. So there we go. All right. Here's what you're looking for if you're trying to learn more about Amy Burris. If you're trying to learn about Dwayne Miller. I don't know. All of these have, I don't know if this is him or not. That's the problem with, no, that's Kalamazoo County. I don't think that's him. I don't know which one of these is him. So I'm unable to find him. So let's bring up Bob Walensky because I realized that it wasn't on the screen. So you can get the right one. There he is. There's Bob. And then finally, let's see. Okay, so, oh, wait, hold on. Let me give you his official. Euler for center. Let's see if it pops up. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here is Dakota Euler. Now, I am not going to bash anyone. I want to make that very clear. But what I am going to tell you is I would definitively look into this person because I have heard reports that they have said some what's the word I'm looking for here? Anti-female statements. I don't know if that's true, but my wife has heard him say some things that struck her wrong. So look into all your candidates as always, and there you go. And remember, he is super duper excited to be taking his talents to Center Township. Again, I don't know. I did not hear him say the things, but when people I trust tell me that was kind of a misogynistic thing to say, I tend to believe them. There's not a lot on here, honestly. It's very limited. But I mean, I guess message them, ask them. Let's see here. So then we get into the Hannah trustee, which Kurt Mortis, Brian Garner, Tony Wallace. You only get to pick one. I don't know, but Liz says she likes Kurt, so at least look him up. Kurt Mortis, Mordus. Hannah Township Board, I don't really have that much. Hudson Township, Brian Gray. He's the only one running, and I think he's doing a great job. He stepped into quite a situation there. There's a fire department thing and all kinds of other stuff. So, yeah. Hudson Township Board. There are Johnson has no candidate. Johnson Township Board, no candidate. Kankakee, one. There's only three. The rest is pretty much what you'd expect. Okay, so there's one last thing that I really want to cover because I think it's really, really important, and that is state convention delegate. How do you? Yeah, that's Grizzly. Whoops. This is Grizzly. He is our crazy little black kitty, and he's awesome. We love him, but he has several very unique traits. But I think I might make a video about my animals again since they've been updated. But state convention delegate, you only get to pick 16, and there are, let's see, 20, yeah, like 28 on the ballot or so. This is really important, and I'm going to tell you why it is so critically important. For one, delegates choose some of the most important positions on the ballot. Let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you happy with Todd Rokita's work as Attorney General? I am. Make that very clear. I am. I think he's doing a fantastic job. He's standing up for the things that matter to the conservative Hoosiers. He is not bowing to the left. He is not allowing other states and other areas, including the federal government, to stick their nose in. I fully support him. The reason we have Todd Rokita as an attorney general is because the state convention delegates chose him to be on the general election ballot, and then the voters chose him. Just like, the primary is so critically important because you get the people that matter to the general. The state convention is how the party chooses the people that go to the general for positions like Secretary of State, Attorney General, treasurer. These are all critically important roles. So I'm going to, Paul says that he likes Westerkamp better. I'm going to tell you this. So I was very unsure about Rokita, and I have never been so happy to be wrong. I was leery because I thought, based on a couple of the things that I read and a couple of things that I found out about him as when he was a state rep, the way that he kind of used Trump's endorsement, but he didn't have an endorsement, but he made it sound like he had an endorsement. There was a couple of things that really was like, I think maybe we should try to keep Curtis Hill or maybe Westerkamp. Since he got elected, he has come out full bore against the left, against the forces trying to destroy this country. And I wholeheartedly appreciate him. I have never in my life been so glad to be wrong. I support him 100%. And, Fagan brings up a good point. True. Here's the important part, though. Your state delegates are who chooses who's going to be on the general election ballot. They are who chooses who's available to be voted for, just like a primary. So I'm going to tell you the names. I am not going to read all of these names. What I am going to tell you are the people that my wife and I are wholeheartedly in favor of. So the second name on the list is Michael Beebe. Now, Beebe has helped me greatly with my campaign, but more importantly, he's a freedom lover. He and I don't always agree on things, but I believe he has the best interests of Indiana at heart. 604 is me, yours truly, Dion Bergeron. 605, it would be 1, 2, 3. I am the third one. Liz is the fourth person on the ballot. The fifth person is Ella Bilderback. It's Elzbieta, Elzbieta, Ella Bilderback. Big thumbs up. Let's see here. The next thing, Mike Gonder is a huge thumbs up. Robert Loney. Now, Robert Loney ran for mayor of Michigan City. He was defeated in the primary, and there's some sketchy stuff that happened with that. I'm going to tell you, the person that I told you about earlier, I'm not going to tell the whole story because it's not my story to tell. But the person that I told you about earlier, who is a sitting politician who was running against my wife, did him dirty. They did him dirty. They told them they were going to do something and then did the opposite. This is a pattern. This is not an isolated incident. Again, I'm not going to tell the story because it's not my story to tell. But hopefully at some point, Robert will. Again, ask around. These people are well known. So let's see here. Lisa Pierzakowski is a thumbs up. And that's about it. I think you should definitely do your due diligence. You should learn about these people, and you should definitively decide if they represent your interests. You should decide if these people are who you want in charge of your government, because they are. They are supposed to be representatives. They are supposed to be the people that represent our interests. Now, I can tell you over and over that Liz does that, will do that. But the reality is that these are just words. What you can see is the heart and soul that she pours out whenever she goes anywhere, whenever she speaks anywhere, whenever she does anything. She really is amazing. And I'm a little biased I mean, I love the woman. But I'm going to tell you, I was honestly surprised and impressed when she read her first speech, gave her first speech. She didn't read it, she kind of off the cuffed it at the breakfast. And she talked about her qualifications and her history and what she was about, who she was. And I knew all this, but to hear it listed and the way that it was presented was just absolutely amazing. It really made me realize that my, cute, spunky, wonderful wife was more than highly qualified for this position. She was perfect for it. Her experience, her diverse background, all led to her being ideal. So, again, look into these people. Do your own research. I'm going to do a quick check to see, just out of curiosity, if we have anything. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Let me show you something because I think it's really, really important. Let's see here. I didn't even know about this. Look at this. So Kelly would like everyone to know that freedom fighters of NWI fully support and endorse Liz Bergeron for LaPorte County Commissioner. We see you fighting for the people of LaPorte County and want you to know we're behind you. Please get out and vote for Liz in the primary election tomorrow. She has 2 primary challengers for the seat. Please, please, please share. And I agree with that. Liz says, I'm perfect except for the way I eat my steak. You're absolutely right. It's an abomination the way that you eat your steak. So, yes. As commissioner, Liz is looking to grow LaPorte County's economy, population, and housing opportunities. Liz is focused on increasing accountability and government transparency. Liz supports all citizens' constitutional rights and God-given freedoms. Liz has decades of experience in the private, public, law enforcement, and social services sectors. She has been a resident of LaPorte County for 18 years. We support freedom-loving patriots, and Liz is exactly that 100%. Get out and vote for Liz. Thank you, Kelly. When you watch this, seriously, that means an incredible amount. And like I said before, Kelly is awesome. She busts her butt to inform voters. That's what it's all about. It's informing the voters. You should also know that she endorsed Barb Regnitz. Barb is a freedom warrior. She started Valpo Cares, a nonprofit fighting CRT in schools. She started a Patriot meetup group, bringing local freedom-focused groups together for one cause. Barb is the real deal and is up against a challenger in the primaries. Please share. So Barb has knocked on over 6,000 doors just over the last few months of her campaign. She truly values each and every citizen of Porter County and is determined to protect our constitutional rights. As commissioner, Barb is focused on increasing government transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. Support freedom-loving patriots, and Barb is exactly that 100%. Get out and vote for Barb Regnitz. So there you go. We have 2 exceptional candidates right next door to each other. LaPorte County, Porter County. If we can get both of them into office, we have a serious chance of turning this area around, because the way that it's been is just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. There's the delegates for Lake County. We don't know many of them, but I'm going to tell you so far, green for Lake County. Again, Lake County delegates: Kevin Connolly, Christian Jorgensen, Mike Kovacevic, Rochelle Baker, Anthony Collins, Sarah Miller, Randy Niemeyer, Rick Niemeyer, and Jessica Messler. That is it. So make a note of those. Pause and rewind the video if you need to once it's done. There you go. So I don't see anything. I don't see anything about LaPorte County on here yet, but I would recommend you check. As Freedom Fighters of NWI, she said she was working on it, so she'll probably upload it later. I think you know who their pick for commissioner is. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm just going to kind of break it down for a couple of minutes, and then we'll end the video. I've told you all I can. do your research. I've given you the information. Not everybody that I've spoken about has information out there. And look, running for office is a lot of work. You have to fill these surveys out. You have to make sure that you get on Ballotpedia. You have to make sure that you have a campaign uh, website, social media devoted to it. You got to do all that. If you are not willing to do all of the work associated with running for office, what makes me think that you're going to do the work once you're in office? That's the reality. And some people think that websites are outdated. I disagree. It's a good place that people can go to keep abreast of your campaign, right? What's going on, how they can contact you, how they can donate. There are all kinds of ways, right? All kinds of things that can be controlled by a website. But not everyone has that belief. That's fine. Okay. Then you need to have something on social media that allows us to find you. It allows us to learn about you. It allows us to see where you stand on issues. I like seeing people's Facebooks, seeing people's Twitter and other social medias, because I want to know what they really believe. This is why, one of the reasons why I did this video. I love this country with all my heart. I want to be proud of this country when my children grow up, when their children grow up. I want to continue to keep what we have, barely. Anyone who doesn't think free speech is under attack is living under a rock. The Ministry of Truth from the book 1984 is becoming a reality. A government-sponsored, government-controlled, so-called fact-checking operation. If that doesn't terrify you, it should. Only by electing true patriots to office up and down the ballot can we fight this. Can we do what's needed? I gave you my thoughts on these people. I gave you my train of thought on some of this stuff. And ultimately, the choice is yours. It is up to you how you vote. I would never think of telling you how to vote. That's just silly. It's wrong to try to tell people how to vote. Parties do it all the time. I don't want to do that. The bottom line is your vote is yours. Exercise it responsibly. Absolutely exercise it, but exercise it responsibly. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Take the time. It's your responsibility to be an educated voter. We can all present you with the people. Now, let me be very clear. If there's a group, this is what endorsements are about, right? Endorsements represent if you have a like-minded group, right? An individual that you really like the way that they think, the way that they, figure things out, the way they vote. If they're true freedom-loving patriots and they say, hey, I endorse this person, that's what endorsements are about. Yeah, they tend to think the way I do. It's a pretty safe bet to vote for them. Organizations are a little more sketchy, right? There are some weird things happening with. There are these organizations, Indiana Right to Life. So Indiana Right to Life is a group that sends out they send out a questionnaire to various candidates running for office. They have them fill it out to see where they stand on abortion and other health-related concerns, right? Then they make this worksheet where they say, this is what this candidate answered. They do not endorse. The actual 501c3 does not endorse. But now there is an actual PAC that carries the same name that I guess was started by the president that does endorse. And there are some questions involved in what's going on there, because a lot of people can get confused over that, and I understand why. So last time, if you're not sure where what a particular position does that's running for office, please watch the video where we break down all the positions on the ballot and their job. You can find it Facebook, YouTube. If you're going on YouTube, just look for Dion for Indiana, and it will have Dion and Liz. We're going to break down the positions. It should be pretty easy to figure out. Read the description if you don't know. And again, Lake County, if you live in Lake County, if you've already voted, they need help. There's some sketchy stuff going on, as always in Lake County, right? I mean, oh my goodness. That's the other thing about this whole situation with the endorsement is you expect this crap in Lake County. You expect it from the other side. You do not expect this kind of behavior from people that are allegedly in the same party. I cannot articulate enough how disgusting, how vile these people are. They are the very epitome of what is wrong with political parties. I'm incredibly disappointed in Diego, and I will definitely be making phone calls to him. And I'm going to tell you, now I have to seriously rethink my pick for Secretary of State. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on these candidates and seeing, because again, I'm going to tell you, if a few phone calls are enough to make you question an endorsement, how hard are you willing to fight for election integrity? Because you're going to come under a lot heavier fire for that than you are for an endorsement. I don't know. As always, though, keep your head up. Voting day is tomorrow. Primary voting day, May 3rd. If you do not know your polling location, if you're not sure, well, where do I go? Go to indianavoters.com and plug in your address, and you can find out where you're supposed to be voting. And yeah, Paul said, look at what the Indiana Republican Party did to Jim Lucas. Jim Lucas, he's kind of a goofy guy. He says some stuff on Facebook sometimes that gets blown out of proportion, but all he did was say, I don't like Eric Holcomb. I don't think he's a positive thing for this state. I think that Rainwater would make a better governor. So I'm gonna say yay Rainwater. And the Republicans came after him hard. You're right, Paul. That's just the way it is. And it's politics. I get it. Again, I understand politics. I get it. You can come after me. You can talk about by all means, talk about my position, talk about where I stand on issues. If you disagree with what I say, let's have a conversation. I'm all about having a conversation. But to go behind back and threaten another person's campaign over an endorsement, this is the sick, disgusting type of person that we do not want representing us, period. That's just the way it is. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Almost 2 hours. It's a lot of time. I appreciate you sticking with me. And I got one more thing. Fagan for prosecutor. Liz Bergeron for county commissioner. You can't go wrong, honestly. Thank you very much. I'm hungry, so I'm getting off of here. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America while we still have it. Let's take it back.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2022. Dion's Daily Dose. All rights reserved.